to be facing, it was an extraordinary situation also, to realize that you were seeing the birth of a new disease. We didn't know anything about it. And little by little, we could, by studying the early patients, eliminate certain possible causes. At first we thought drugs or what people eat or drink or do, but quickly we could eliminate those as a reason for this disease. And we came to the conclusion that it must be an infectious disease, it must be transmissible. And as soon as the first women and the first babies and the first old folks who had received blood transfusion came down with it, we could also say it's an infectious agent, that it's transmissible through blood and sex. And that was late 1981, 1982. It was very early. We had that suspicion. So then, an infectious agent, that we know microbes don't distinguish between gay, straight, female, male, young or old. We became very frightened.
That you knew this in 81?
I would say 82, that we knew we were going to face an epidemic and it was going to affect everybody. Let's say in the mid-80s, after the virus was identified, and it took a few months to really convince ourselves that a new virus was involved. We also realized that this virus was not making sometimes people sick. That the rule was that somebody who acquired the virus also developed full-blown AIDS. We know today that there are some exceptions, but we know there are very few exceptions. And so we were dealing with a disease that was not only transmissible, serious, but lethal most of the time. And it was really scary. And what was scary too was the reaction of our authorities and the public in general, saying it's them, it's people who don't deserve attention and help and so on. Or not believing that they would say it's only gay sex who transmits this virus, and we knew full well it was not only gay sex. For a long time, even our Department of Health here in New York was calling, the gay bars places of risk. They tried to close them, but the straight, public accommodations for sexual orgies were not closed.
Well, isn't it true that it wasn't until the summer of 1985 that the government admitted that heterosexuals could get AIDS?
Yeah, that's true too. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. So we were saying it, but we were blowing in the wind. I mean, the authorities, the people that the public respects and listens to, were saying nothing. Let alone the religious authorities who were saying the opposite of what we scientists were saying. And it made of the whole issue an issue of morality, which was ridiculous. And we're whipping up discrimination and prejudice.
Right. I know this whole thing firsthand.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something, okay? I'm going to be really blunt about it.
Sure.
And it's really serious to me.
Okay.
I'm not personally involved. I only do this because I want to do this.
Yeah.
Okay? AIDS itself, okay? Could we be talking about a blood-related factor that's a virus that over a period of 200 years could affect a much greater mass? And could it be possible to have being the forerunner to lead to the extinction of humankind?
Well, it's a transmissible disease. It's out of control.
It kills.
It kills. Yes, it's only a matter of time. And this is why we have to come to a solution, and the only real solution can come through research. And research is expensive, it takes time, it's often frustrating. It's the only way.
Where are we at now at the research point? What are our expectancies for the near future, the distant future?
Well, on a scale of 100, 1 being know nothing, 100 being a cure, I think we're halfway. We have a long way to go. But now, over the last 10 years at least, we have learned we have learned enough to know where we're going, what we have to do. It's a matter of resources only.
The money that these people donate, as in the Red Hot organization, A.I.D.S, the records, does that money actually help?
Oh, it helps a lot. Because you see, for example, speaking for AMFOR, which is the organization I chair now, it's a research organization. I believe in research for the reasons I said, that is what will bring solutions. It is true, we are a private organization, but we are the National American Foundation. It's a public foundation, in legal terms. We belong to the public. We collect 501c3. We collect funds from all over the country, even all over the world, and distribute these funds to research projects. We carefully select those research projects. I don't decide what we fund, and not even our board decides. The people who decide are advisors who are experts in the different areas of research in which we fund projects. And they choose the best, the most promising, the most technically deserving, and the most directly AIDS related, you know. And this is how we work. It is very important to have a private organization in this business, because although we have less money than the government has, we have much more flexibility. We can fund much faster than the government can, and we can also take chances that government agencies don't take. You know, they are risk adverse. They like to fund with the sure bet. You know, the guy who has a long CV and 50 publications. We like to fund good ideas, and sometimes these come from young people. And you may miss, you know, sometimes it turns out the idea looked good but is not, you know, and so you waste a little money, but once in a while you hit the jackpot, and then you help the whole of mankind, you know.